Hello. Okay. So I have another dream, and this was actually the first dream that I had. I had been going through a lot and really struggling, I think, in my walk, not fully understanding. Um, Not to say that I fully understand now, but I just felt attacked at every angle. And this was the first night that when it came at me harder than ever, I took it straight to God and just begged for His protection and His guidance. And then I went to sleep. And now 12 years ago, my grandpa died. My grandpa was an amazing man, a true man of God. He was a preacher, and he was amazing. And he passed away. And I had had a few different dreams of him, but the dreams were him, but I could never reach him. I never could talk to him. Like, I couldn't hear him. And so that's a little bit of preface there. So this dream, I went to sleep, and all of a sudden I was in this place, and it was like white. I don't know how to explain this white, but it was white. White like it should hurt your eyes. The white, the kind of white, but it didn't. It was warm and it felt safe, but it was like I was looking around and I was just in this room, and in this room there were no corners. I mean, the corners were rounded, and they just mean like it wasn't like sharp corners it would be in a room. The corners were rounded. And there were no doorways at first, but this room was just white, brilliant white. And I was standing in this room, and I was looking around and trying to figure out where I was, and I was looking up and down and everywhere, and I didn't understand. I was just there, and I was looking to see if I could find somebody, and then out of nowhere, this like archway, because it wasn't a doorway, because there was no door, it's like an archway, was to my right side, and it was a little bit ahead of me, and I look over and I'm like, whoa, okay. And my papa walked out of this archway, and I was just like, my papa. And like I ran to him and I hugged him like I could touch him. He hugged me and I could feel him. It was my papa. And I could feel him. I could smell him. It was him. I didn't understand this in any way. I just knew I was standing with my papa. I was hugging my papa. And I woke up. But I heard him say, without hearing, "I'm proud of you." I don't know how to explain that. But if you know, you know. And I woke up. And it took me a minute when I woke up. I was like, what? Like, it was weird because it was almost like I didn't remember right away. It took like a minute of me being awake. And it flooded me. This feeling, and I was so warm. I just started weeping. And I mean, to the point I was crying so hard. I woke my son up. And he came rushing out and said, "Mom, what's wrong? Are you okay?" And I was just like, "I was just with Pa. I was just with Pa." It was after that dream. The sky looked different. Everything about it looked different. So beautiful. Everything. And I spent so long trying to pick it apart, trying to understand. And it's not up to me to understand. My verses, my life verses are Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all you do, and he will direct your path. I believe that day, that night, was the beginning of God telling me, okay, now we're going. That was like, God was telling me, "I love you." And I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand. Because my life, much of my young adult and adult life, was less than acceptable. But God still, that night, forgave me, let me know that I was forgiven. And so I didn't understand how or why. But it doesn't. How I am forgiven Just the same way that we all can be forgiven. Jesus died. He chose us. And so it's up to us to choose him. He casts our sins as far as the east is from the west. It is forgotten. He showed his love on the cross when he chose us. When he chose to love us, no matter the cost to him. He saw us then. He saw us then. He saw every sin that we would commit, every mistake we would make. He saw it all and still chose us, guys. I fully believe that where I was, I've been told, was a lot of different things, but what I like to call it is heaven's waiting room. And I got to see my papa. Nothing special about me. I am no different than anyone else. But I had had enough. I had had enough. I began to recognize that my way was not working anymore. It never really did. He showed me he'll do the same for you. Every tear. He knows every cry. He hears your soul, your heart, your mind. He already knows. He knows. Now please know you are forgiven. You just have to be ready to accept it. That God gave his only Son. That whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Jesus, in the Garden of Gethsemane, got down on his knees, knowing what was coming, and simply told his Father, Father, all things are possible for you. If it possible, let this cup pass before me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. Because he saw us then. He sees you, he hears you, and he knows you. You're worthy of his love. And no one and nothing can tell you different. Because on that cross, Jesus told you you are worthy of his love. I love you, brothers and sisters. God bless you all. Till next time.